Focus and look into the camera, Stephanie, not at yourself in the viewfinder. Hi, my name is Steph Cofield. I'm a name consultant and a TikTok content creator with over 220,000 followers. I have decided recently that I wanted to start making YouTube videos, so here I am. This camera is like, I don't know, 8-9 years old from before my son was born, but you know, I'm putting up with my trusty ring light, my TikTok background. I even opened up iMovie today. Like, I'm gonna try and bring you a great quality video. Let's get comfortable because what I want to tell you is the story of how I ended up self-publishing my first book, because it's a good story, and it was one of those things where I was like, how do I share this on TikTok? And it just didn't make sense in any of the short form content stuff. So I just want to have stream of consciousness. I just want to tell you the highs and the lows. And then maybe I'll also make a video on budgeting for a self-published book if you guys are interested in that. Okay, so let's go back to March of 2022. I decided I wanted a new challenge. I wanted to write a book. Writing a book is something I always knew that I really wanted to do, okay? Like, I felt like I have maybe some fiction stories to tell or children's story in my future, but I knew that making a name book was where I was gonna start my publishing journey, okay? So I started grabbing different themes, and I do Baby Name Friday over on my TikTok, and so I was gonna take that format. I do 10 popular names in the one video, and then I would do 10 uncommon names of the same category in a separate video, and it's called Baby Name Friday. And I knew that that's how the book was going to be formatted, because my least favorite thing about name books was that they're all super hard to read, difficult to read, so lengthy, and there's like 800 different versions of Annabelle and Andrew. And if you read reviews on those types of name books, you're gonna see that people are like, there's a ton of repeats. So I knew, number one, I wasn't gonna classify anything by boy girl. I was gonna do uncommon and popular. And number two, I knew that I was not going to have a ton of names in this book. I was going to keep it to 20 names per category, per theme. So like the themes range from like animals to French names to Greek mythology to winter inspired, autumn inspired to Shakespeare. I have a whole theme called Steph's favorites. You know, I think I had like 52, 53 themes by the end. And yeah, over 1,000 names. Anyway, I spent from March until June-ish, mid-July, working on this ever so slowly. I was directing a play at the time, and then another one in the summer. So I was keeping really busy, plus doing my TikTok, plus doing my name orders, plus I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3. Did I mention that? So I didn't have a ton of time to dedicate to this book. It was just anytime I was like, oh, that'd be a good idea, or oh, let me take these names from my TikTok video and plop them in. So then in July, my best friend, who also recently, or past year, became my business manager, she's like, her name is Laura, and she said, let's set up a plan, because are you gonna publish this book this year? You've been talking about it, you've been working on it, how far? Like, when's this gonna happen? So what she did is make me step by step set up a plan where I knew I wanted to release it this fall, 2022 fall, right? This was this past fall. And I knew that I had to make XYZ happen to get there. So we laid out a plan, which ended up giving me the entire month of August, but that was it. The entire month of August to finish the book. Because by August 31st, I was supposed to be looking for editors, cover designers, and the like, okay? This was stressful. August was insane. I literally worked on the book every spare minute I had. Late nights, you know, I'd get up in the morning, work, nap times, like it was so hard to continue to make content at the same time. And I think my content did struggle when I was focusing on the book, but I knew it was all worth it for the big picture. So she wanted me to come up with a name ASAP as well. And I decided, what better name than names don't have a gender? Like, that was my whole concept. It's very rare to see baby name books that aren't pink and blue and split up by boy girl. And as we know, like, names work on anyone, and you can use any name that speaks to you. And I really wanted the title to be inclusive of that and to represent that. So Names Don't Have a Gender was the obvious choice. Check that one little thing off the list right away. So not only do I have to finish all of the themes that I kind of set out, I was finding the origins and the meanings of all of these names as well. So August was a lot of like double checking my research and like going on multiple websites to make sure that I had the closest understanding of what that name meant. Okay, so this was a really stressful month, but in the meantime, I've secured a book designer who we will call Angela, because Angela and we have a roller coaster relationship, as you will soon find out. That is not her real name. So we book Angela. She's not available till mid-September. Fair enough, no problem. Find an editor, great. These prices are also, the editor was a lot lower than I anticipated. We'll get into that in another video. But then I also realized at this time that I need the phonetic spelling, because it's really important to me that you are able to look at the book and see how things are spelled. Now, in the future, as I add a name to book, because there will be a version number 2 of Names Don't Have a Gender, in the future, I will be adding the phonetics, the origin, and the meaning all at the same time. I think that's the best way to write these books. It's so much easier than having to find a billion origins and meanings. Like, the fun part is picking the names, but that's not the most difficult part of writing a name book. Where we last left off is I'm on Fiverr, which is where I do my name orders. So it was perfect for me because I kind of know the platform. I know how much Fiverr charges to use them. And so I'm like, I'm gonna find people on here. I'm looking for verified people. I'm looking for level 2 sellers like myself. I'm just looking for people with great reviews that I think will do a great job. And that's honestly where I found every single one of my people. I outsourced everything. Okay, I know there's people you can have friends be beta readers and editors. I know you can get a software and do your own formatting. That was never in the cards for me. This was get a book published as quick as possible. This was not Stephanie learning a bunch of new endeavors. Like, me learning how to even put this YouTube video onto the internet is a lot of work for me. This stuff does not come natural for me. It's a lot of trial and error. And I just knew that those were things that were worth paying for me. And I was using my name money. So for me, I wasn't using mine and my husband's money because we live on one paycheck. We are a one income household. Mine is supplemental, and honestly, my artistic money that I make doing content creation and name orders, I fed back into my book. It took me from March to August 30th to write this thing because I literally only spent like one solid month doing most of the work. I did 80% of the work in August. September 7th, I had my book back, and the editor had completed the phonetic spelling of everything, which is a lot. I did pay for that as well. I said, is this something you'd be willing to do? Can you write me a custom order? So I paid for that. I also told the editor that I wanted her to point out any name repeats, because having a repeat was so important, or not having repeats was so important to me. She found about 10. When she sent the book back with her revisions and edits and like, you know, there was not as many maybe as a book with a storyline arc plot. But anyway, she sent me them back, and there was like, I was like, what? How many? That's a lot. It felt like I had so many repeats. And then I found like 10 more myself that she missed completely, which, spoiler alert, there were even more than those 20. Then I sent my book to a beta reader. Now, I probably should have done this earlier on because there wasn't much I was going to do at this point, but I needed to get someone's objective of feedback, and I thought, even if it's terrible feedback, I need to hear it. Like, I needed to hear it. Very reasonable price. Sent it back in a few days. Loved like all the personal stuff about me, naming my kids at the beginning, my advice at the end of the book, how inclusive I made it, my disclaimers, just like loved all of that. Almost felt like the only critique she had was that she was wondering if maybe I should have put more information with each names, with more of the names. So anyway, I think in the future what I would do is probably highlight every few names. They might get their own page, their own history, a lot of stuff like that. I did feel really happy about that feedback. With my cover designer, she didn't quite grasp my concept at first. She did send over 3 ideas, which is great. They were not from a template. And I chose one in the end of a silhouette. Let me show you the book. This was the design. It's like a silhouette of a face. It's also on the back. And the thing about it is she originally had it with like a beige background and beige light tan. And what, for me, I felt like it really showed like skin color, like it screamed skin color. Now, I didn't want the book to scream skin color, so we kept going back and forth. She gave me like a navy option. We also didn't want it to be like pink or, you know, blue to symbolize boy girl. And I feel like purple was a good happy medium. And I really do like the color, and I like the cover a lot. But compared to other name books where it's literally everyone took a stock photo of a white baby, put them on the front, and then like pink and blue colors, it feels so refreshing. Like I love how different it is. I love how it stands out. I love everything about the concept, and I think the silhouette is the perfect idea. I do love that idea. The next thing I need is a book formatter. Now my formatter, her name is Catherine. That's her real name because she is the best and someone that I would definitely work with again. Catherine is the person who added in all of these embellishments. And she was the one who took my idea of the boxes to check your, I have no idea if you guys can see this, but to have the little boxes, because I had in my head this idea that you can go through and be like, quickly, I like this, I like this. You could take a different pen than your partner. You could do it in a few years later. You could use pencil and erase it and redo it, but I wanted it to be interactive. That's why there's also at the end 5 pages that say my favorite names, and they could be for multiple children. They could be for multiple people in your family that are helping pick the name. But I wanted it to be interactive, and so Catherine had her work cut out for her because I just basically was like trying to explain it. I actually hired a different formatter who ghosted me, didn't turn it in on time, and finally I canceled the order because she frightened me that she could not do it. She was not communicative. Like, that's the trouble with Fiverr. And then I think she was waiting on me to cancel the order, so it didn't look bad on her not delivering on time. Shady. So I don't think it was that difficult. Catherine didn't have that much trouble with it. She did say at first that she was gonna be able to do the page numbers for me. And then she realized they were like haphazard around and it was gonna be way too much work. So she's like, I can't do this, but you guys can do it. You can do it on your own. So my best friend stepped in, thank you. She did like 85% of the names, looked it up in the book, put the page number, because we had to have, like, it was edited out, but we needed to add the page numbers to the index at the back, right? So, and I also paid Catherine extra money to expedite it because at this point, the back and forth and everything is taking longer than I anticipated. And even when, as someone who is like, I've done no creative projects before, I've started a podcast, I've, you know, been in tons of theater productions, like I understand things take longer. I always budget in extra time. And this was a new thing, so it felt like everything took even longer, if that makes sense. So I got myself a formatter that I really liked, right? And I paid her extra money so that she could finish it in like a week or less, like 5 to 7 days instead of like her 2-week timeline, because I wanted my book and I wanted to release it. And I was starting to talk about it on TikTok to make some buzz and getting a lot of comments that were like, we can't wait to buy your book. We're so excited. I'm gonna buy your book, blah, 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 all these sweet things. And I was like, I want to ride this momentum. People are gonna forget about it. And I don't wanna be obnoxious and talk about my book every single day. Oh, this is the part in the story that I actually have no recollection of, and I need to ask maybe my husband or my business manager because I have no idea. It says, so my birthday was October 4th, and in my head originally I was like, I should announce my book on my birthday. That didn't happen. I got everything back on October 5th, and I did not try to upload everything until October 24th to Amazon KDP Publishing. I don't understand. I don't know what happened in those few weeks. That I got I know in between I uploaded to Ingram Spark. So I also did an ebook and a paperback, but not a hardcover. I don't know what happened in those weeks. Like, I literally was scrolling my emails trying to figure it out. I know I uploaded to Ingram Spark, but I was gonna do exclusive with the ebook. And I don't know if it took that long to like get started on Amazon KDP. I don't know. Regardless, this is where the shit hits the fan, okay? This is where things started to go awry. Number one, I first submit my book, and I'm trying to get it situated into like the viewfinder, and they say the cover doesn't fit. And so there's like the red lines, like you're gonna be out of the ink and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, surely it's fine. So I order some preview copies just in case. And then I go to Angela on Fiverr and I say, it says it doesn't fit. And she's like, oh, it should, and blah, blah, blah. Turns out the bleeds were wrong. But every time you submit, this is important, every time you submit on KDP, it takes days, like and only business days, not weekends, to figure out, like to get a response. It doesn't fit, okay? So Angela has to get me one updated. She doesn't really know what's wrong. I'm confused by that because I thought she'd done many of these. So anyway, she's like, okay, oh, I figured it out. This is, you have to add in bleeds, or it was something to do with the bleeds. For some reason, her design worked on Ingram, but not on KDP. No idea why. Okay, so that's hiccup number one. So after I get the file size from Angela correct, we resubmit, I'm all excited, it's gonna happen, right? Wrong. They come back and they tell me that my book, KDP says my book is low content. You guys, I was livid. Do you know what a low content book is? It's cool, it's great, but it's not what I made. It's not what I wrote. A low content book is a lined journal. It is a notebook of sorts. It is not a book with, 10,000 words. Like I know, and like 1,000 names. It might seem like low content because of the list form, but I spent so much time on it. I was just so hurt. Like I took it as a personal attack, even though it was just like a system flag, right? And I was like, I spent so much time. And sometimes I go through this feeling of feeling a little bit like a fraud saying I wrote a book, right? You say you write a book and you think of a nonfiction advice book, or you think of a fiction romance, fairy tale book, and you don't think of a name book. But I tell you, I wrote it. I handpicked every single name. I wrote stuff at the beginning, I wrote stuff at the end. And I just feel really irritated that they even suggested it. So of course I had to appeal, I had to call, I had to email, and finally after more days, I don't know, like the time got blurry here too. A few more days went by and they said, you're right, it's not low content, move on as you will. Okay, so I'm like, well, that's gonna be the last setback. That was setback number 2, right? Wrong. The next setback is that they told me the barcode number didn't match. Okay, so when Angela gave me the bigger size file of my book cover, she somehow got the ebook, because ebook and paperback have different ISBN numbers, okay? She had switched them. No big deal. But instead of being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, like that sucks, oh, oopsies, it was like, well, I'm busy, you're gonna have to wait a few days. I'm like, what? This is like a simple number change. It felt frustrating. I was very polite and kind the whole time, but I'm starting to get frustrated because the size didn't work and now the numbers were wrong, which was kind of a silly mistake. We're all allowed to make silly mistakes. Moving on, she switched it eventually, and then I resubmitted for the 3rd time. And then guess what happened? I got flagged again, and this time they said I had no barcode. Now, no barcode! I was so irritated, you guys. I was so irritated. You just told me my numbers weren't right on the barcode. That's why you know it's like this weird system. Like KDP is trying to make sure it's a good book. They're trying to keep everything, like they want everything to be perfect for you. But the frustration in that is like you just agreed there was a barcode because you told me the numbers were wrong. So I'm like pulling out my hair at this point. So then I go back and I say to Angela, they don't see the barcode. Could you make it bigger? Like as my husband would say, her order on Fiverr didn't say, I guarantee that your book cover design will get you through on KDP. Like there is no guarantee. And I was asking her to do things past her time, but I also paid a lot. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, it was about $750 for the ebook and the paperback cover design, which I think is a little bit high based on the stuff I've seen on YouTube and other self-published authors, but we'll get into money another day. But at this point, she was like, Stephanie, if you're gonna ask me for any more things, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to start charging you for edits because it's taking up time and I know it looks simple, but so I was really frustrated, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be rude, I'm not gonna be mean. Okay, sounds good. She sends me over a bigger barcode and they still say it gets rejected again because I immediately press submit. Like I'm losing it at this point. I'm just like, I don't care how the book looks, I just wanna publish. Like I literally was at that point, I was like, and take it, however it is, Amazon, I don't care, please take this book. And then I get the info from them that has to be XYZ, it has to be this size, whatever size it is, and it has to have the contrast black and white. Honestly, you guys, I thought way back when I first got the design that the barcode was tiny, and I thought, man, I wish the title could have popped more. But I thought it was kind of cool, and I was like, I don't want to be annoying. Be annoying. Be annoying at the beginning. Like, say the things that you're thinking before you agree to accept any order on any platform with any consultant. Make sure you're happy. You can see this is the original barcode size. This is what Amazon put on my proof copy because I think somehow it got flagged that they were like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. So, let's see. No. I had just asked her, you know, could you send it to me bigger, but I didn't know that the contrast was off, and so I ended up paying an additional $30 plus 20% to Fiverr plus whatever, like fees. I ended up paying to get my barcode. So after submitting it 4 times, it finally gets accepted on the 5th time. I am so thrilled. It happens like on a Sunday, I want to say. That Monday, that next day, I post on my TikTok, my book is out, and, you know, go buy my book. It was a whirlwind. I don't want to talk anymore about like sales or budget because I think those are separate topics that we can cover at some point, but I just wanted to say, like, self-publishing was a roller coaster, but it felt so good to know I'd done it all myself, and it's been so fun to say my book is out now, and the reviews have been really positive, and I'm just enjoying the process overall. It was just really hard. August through November was difficult, or up to the middle of November. I think it was November 6th that my book was live. Anyway, that's my journey. Subscribe to my channel. Tell me if there's other things you want here. I know I can always do name videos here in long form as well, but right now I kind of want to do the behind the scenes of content creator life, self-publishing. I want to tell longer stories. I can talk about anything I want now. The first step is the hardest. This video is done, but it's not perfect, as they say, and I'm so happy that I'm here and that I was able to get it uploaded. So I will see you next time. Bye!